Never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. One question, would you trust a teammate who's AFK half the game just because they're your friend? Or would you rather team up with a former rival who shows up every round and plays to win? Easy. You go with the one who plays to win. Because in the end, it's not about who you like. It's about who shows up. Here's the juice. When you play with a friend, they feel safe. They think, we're cool. Even if I mess up, he won't care. That comfort makes them lazy, sloppy, or even entitled. But when you play with a rival or former enemy, they feel like they have something to prove. They think, I gotta show I'm worth it. So they try harder, play smarter, and stay sharp. Here's a simple breakdown. Friends are comfortable around you, so they feel complacent. Enemies feel pressure around you, so they give their best performance. Comfort kills hunger, but pressure creates power. Much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. If your reputation in the game is on the line, would you trust a teammate with a bad track record or someone who's proven they can carry the squad? So, would you risk your win streak on someone who's always letting you down just because they're friendly? Or would you pick someone who earns respect with every play? Well, obviously, you'd pick the one who's earned their respect by consistently performing, even if they're a former rival. Because in the end, a solid teammate with a reputation for getting things done is always better than someone who's all talk and no action. Think of your reputation like your rank in a game. If you're known as someone who always carries the squad, others will trust you, want to team up with you, and follow your lead. If you get a reputation for being a flaky teammate, someone who bails mid-game or fails to deliver, people will avoid you, sabotage you, or treat you like a liability. Once your reputation drops, it's hard to get back. People won't always focus on your skills. They'll focus on how they think you'll perform based on what they've heard or seen before. A good reputation is like free XP. It opens doors. A bad one? It makes people hesitate, question, or ignore you. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Why waste energy grinding alone when you can let someone else do the hard missions and you still get the loot? And if they're doing all the work anyway, why not let them think it was their idea all along? Because when they think it was their idea, they feel smart, useful, and they never see you as a threat. Meanwhile, you're winning quietly, collecting the rewards, and staying 2 steps ahead. Imagine you're in a squad, and one teammate does all the farming, grinding XP, collecting loot, and unlocking missions. You just stay close, help a little, and when it's time to cash in, you claim the win, the loot, the credit. They feel like they contributed, but you're the one who gets noticed for the success. You saved energy, avoided the hard grind, and still look like the MVP. People often want to feel helpful. If you can let them do the heavy lifting without realizing they're being used, they stay happy, and you stay ahead. Learn to keep people dependent on you. If your squad can't win without you, who's really in control of the game? And if they need you to carry every match, how long before they start playing by your rules? The moment they rely on you to win, you've got the power. Because when they can't play without you, they stop calling the shots. You do. In a squad-based game, if you're the one who always clutches the round and leads the strategy, they need you to win. And when they need you, you control the game. They won't kick you. They won't question you. Because without you, they lose. People don't give up power easily, unless they believe they can't win without you. That's when they start listening, trusting, even following you. Not because they want to, but because they have to. Here's a power move. Make yourself so good, so essential, that removing you would break the team. Then you don't have to chase power. It comes to you. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. If a troll keeps trying to get under your skin, who's really winning, you or them? And if you lose your cool and start raging, aren't you just playing their game now? Exactly. The moment you react, they're in control. You're no longer playing to win. You're playing to prove something. And that's how you lose. Not just the game, but your power. Let's say you're in a competitive match and you drop some loot for a random teammate. They don't trust you at first. But that one honest move makes them lower their guard. Next thing you know, they're following your lead, trusting your calls, even backing you up in certain scenarios. Because one smart act of honesty or generosity made them think, this guy's cool. And now, they're easier to control. It's because when people expect selfishness or deceit, even a small act of kindness feels huge. It disarms them. They stop being cautious and start trusting you, which makes them easier to guide, influence, or outplay later on. Use honesty or generosity not randomly, but strategically. Give a little now, gain control later. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. If everyone's trying to impress the top player, who's standing out by making them chase you instead? And if you're the only one not begging for their attention, doesn't that make you the most interesting player in the lobby? Exactly. When you don't chase, you create mystery. While everyone else is fighting for approval, you're the one they start watching, wondering about, and trying to impress. That's real power. Let's say you want a high-level player to help you beat a tough boss. You don't say, "Please, bro, help me out, I really need this." Instead, you say, "If we beat this together, you'll get rare loot, and it'll boost your stats too." Now they're listening, because you're offering them value, not begging for a favor. People are wired to think, "What's in it for me?" Gratitude wears off fast, but benefits stick. So when you ask for help, don't rely on emotional guilt. Make it a win-win, and they'll actually want to say yes. It's like trying to squat up with a pro player. They're not interested in carrying you just because. But if they see you as someone who can help them rank up faster, they're in. Always frame your request around what they gain, not what you lack. People will help you faster when they think they're helping themselves. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. If you reveal your whole game plan in the first round, what's left to keep your opponents guessing? And if they already know your next move, how can you ever stay one step ahead? Imagine you're playing against someone who thinks they're the smartest in the lobby. You intentionally play dumb, make a mistake, act clueless, let them think they've got you figured out. Then, when they drop their guard, you strike. You pull off a sick play, outsmart them, and take the win. People love to feel like they're in control. So, if you make them think they've outsmarted you, they'll get comfortable. Once they do, you can take advantage of their overconfidence. It's like pretending you're a noob just to get someone to underestimate you. Sometimes, it's better to act clueless and let people think they have the upper hand, so you can use that to your advantage later. Play the perfect courtier. Use subtlety to gain influence. If you always play by the rules, how can you ever expect to outsmart the top players? And if you never try something new, how can you stand out as the one who really dominates the game? You can't. The players who really stand out are the ones who take risks, break the rules, and keep others guessing. If you always play it safe, you'll just blend in with the rest. But if you push the boundaries, you set yourself up for those big, game-changing wins. Think of it like being in an RPG where the kingdom is full of powerful characters. Kings, bosses, guild leaders. You don't win by brute force. You win by playing the social game. You compliment the king, help the boss look good, stay loyal but not clingy, and never act like you're the real power, even if you are. You earn trust, stay in favor, and slowly move up the ranks. It's like being the ultimate support player, low-key, strategic, and always in the right place. Not stealing the spotlight, but always controlling the flow. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. If you always show your hand, how can you expect to surprise your enemies when it counts? And if they already know all your moves, how can you ever outplay them? If they already know all your moves, you've lost the element of surprise. That's like letting your enemy predict your every action. And no matter how skilled you are, predictability is the quickest way to get outplayed. You're the one creating the mission, setting the map, and handing out the weapons. The enemy thinks they have a choice, but every path leads exactly where you want. It's like giving your opponent two doors in a boss fight. One has a dragon, the other has a trap. Either way, you're waiting behind both with full health and a power-up. You don't react, you design the game. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. If you're always playing defense, how can you ever make a real move? Or are you just letting the game control you instead of controlling the game? Exactly. When you're only reacting, you're not in control. You're letting the game dictate your moves. To truly master it, you need to go on offense, set the pace, and force your opponent to react to your strategy. That's how you own the game. Think of it like this. If you want to be the leader, you have to play the role, even before you've got the crown. If you walk into a game acting like a side character, you'll be treated like one. But if you step in with confidence, make bold moves, and show you're ready for the top, others will start to treat you like the boss, even if you're not one yet. It's about owning your presence, setting your own standard, and playing like you already have the power. Work on the hearts and minds of others. If you're too predictable, how can you ever outsmart the competition? Or are you just giving them a roadmap to your moves? Exactly. When you're predictable, you're handing your opponents the playbook. To outsmart them, you need to keep them guessing, always staying a few steps ahead, making moves they can't anticipate. That's how you stay in control. It's like building your own faction in a strategy game. You don't just win by having the best gear. You win by getting people to follow you willingly. If you can get allies to believe in you, they'll fight for you, help you conquer, and support your plans without hesitation. To truly rise to power, you've got to influence people's hearts and minds, not just control them with force. Make them want to be on your side, and they'll do the hard work for you.